You guys know what Uber is, right?
Maybe you've heard the name Uber.
Uber and Uber.
Uber, called Uber. These guys have skirted the law from the very beginning.
Launched in San Francisco in 2010 with the leadership of co-founder and CEO Travis Kalanick, Uber falls under fire immediately as the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency issues a cease and desist letter. The claim? Uber is operating an unlicensed taxi service. Uber ignores the order and carries on, a practice it will repeat in dozens of cities and countries around the world.
You can see that basically Uber is completely walking away from any liability.
Pizza delivery drivers, they have insurance on the pizza card. From the minute it gets turned on to the minute it gets turned off. Everybody else who's driving vehicles on the road, whether they're full or empty, carries commercial insurance 24/7. What they have done is externalized all the cost of their operation. So what they do is they just rake cash.
The company claims that its drivers make a healthy median income of $90,766 in major cities like New York and San Francisco. Drivers protest worldwide, arguing that this number, which has never been publicly substantiated, lacks credibility. Last year alone, Uber raised $2.4 billion in funding and now has a $40 billion valuation. In August 2014, The Verge publishes details of Operation Slog, the name for Uber's policy that targets competitors, specifically Lyft. The company gave independent contractors burner cell phones and credit cards to order and cancel 5,560 rides in an effort to disrupt their competitors' operations. Uber continues to expand into global markets with investment funds from Google and integration into Google Maps. October 2014, the company's God View feature first comes to light. According to witnesses, at the Chicago Uber launch party in September 2011, executives revealed the feature and bragged how they could track customers' movements for their own amusement. In mid-November, Uber's Senior Vice President of Business Development, Emil Michael, spoke at a private dinner about smearing Pando Daily Editor-in-Chief, Sarah Lacy, because she criticized the company's practices. CEO Kalanick condemned the remarks, but Michael did not lose his job.
That we don't have to cower to regulators or to, incumbents who don't want us to exist.
You're at war with all these people. Don't be a dick. You don't need the 10%. Do you take 10%?
We take 20%.
You're at war prematurely with your customers.
Sorry about that.
Uber has also faced harsh criticism by the taxi industry and a wave of regulatory action in dozens of jurisdictions for its lack of customer and worker protections, including inadequate background checks on drivers, gaps in insurance coverage, and its use of surge pricing, which causes regular fares to increase exponentially, even in times of human crisis.
There was a young girl that was killed in an automotive accident concerning an UberX driver. Uber is made a ruling for itself that it's not liable. We should not allow a private corporation to make a legal judgment.
Culture comes from the top, and the senior executive sets a tone. And what we see over and over again, when Uber gets in these PR messes, they never fire anyone responsible. Now, what message does that send if you're at the company? I get rewarded for taking more risks.
In February 2015, Uber announced a self-driving car project, spending millions of venture capital funds to replace thousands of drivers across the country with automated vehicles, a vision it shares with partner Google. What is the future of transportation for Uber? Is Uber's success an example of free enterprise or abuse of the capitalist system? We're making this film to explore the question: what is the true cost of Uber's services?